right, so we'll go ahead and dive in. So welcome to another Tuesdays at 2 with Haven. Today I'm going to go through some of our top spaces that we recommend you stage when you're getting your home ready for the market. Well, this can vary home to home. We at Haven definitely have a handful of specific rooms that we do generally recommend you stage. So we'll talk about 5 of those here today. So number 1 is going to be the living room. The living room is generally one of the first rooms a buyer will see, and making a good first impression is key. Living spaces are also some of the most used spaces in a home, so buyers really want to see the functionality of the space and see that there's enough room for their family to fit comfortably in the space. An empty living room can be tough for buyers because they can't always accurately gauge the space. They can't really gauge if their furniture will fit, if their big sectional will fit. They have a hard time visualizing sort of all of their existing pieces, how they are laid out now, fitting into a new blank canvas like that. So being able to show buyers that a full functional seating area will comfortably fit will go a really, really long way when you're marketing your home. And staging can also solve those logistical issues like where to place the TV and then sort of how to orient your couch and chairs around it. That will really give buyers a great idea of the logistics of how the space will be oriented. So then second, kind of on that same note, we have the dining room. So the dining room is generally situated sort of right by the living room. So we do generally recommend you stage both. They kind of go hand in hand. This will help the buyers visualize how they flow together as 2 of the main rooms that they'll be using in their new home. They can better picture how their furniture will fit into both spaces and then get a good feel of those walkways in between the rooms. That's really important, just showing that there's ample walk space in between and around all of your furniture in both your living and your dining rooms. We also think it's really important to show the size table that you can fit in your dining room. So for example, if buyers are looking at a single family home, they do really want to see that 6 to 8 person dining table can fit comfortably. Or say it's a studio with no dining room, it's still really great to show that like a bistro table and 2 chairs can fit. Or maybe a mobile kitchen island with 2 bar stools. So even in unconventional spaces, buyers will be looking for somewhere to sit and eat their meals besides the sofa, generally. So bottom line, showing functional and flexible entertaining spaces will definitely always add value to your property. And then the third room that we always recommend is your primary bedroom. So aside from the living space and the dining space or kitchen kind of flex area, your primary bedroom is going to be another big one. It's where your buyers are going to be spending most of their time. They're going to be looking to see that their bed and their side tables will fit comfortably. So a blank room can kind of make it hard to tell if like just a queen bed will fit or if the buyers are going to be able to get their king bed and their 2 side tables comfortably in the space. So we do definitely like to keep it simple and not overcrowd the room. But for a primary bedroom, it's really important to show that headboard, the 2 side tables, lamps, a rug, and the room will just feel full but not overcrowded, and they'll get a good sense of what they can actually fit in the space. And then aside from specific rooms, we do also recommend that you just stage any particularly small or awkward rooms. So you never want a buyer to feel like there's a useless room in the home that they're looking at. If you can switch the way buyers are seeing a small space from like awkward or too small to functional, that will go a long way in adding value to the home. And sometimes the most awkward space is actually the main living room, say. So it's then especially important to show that you can fit a functional seating area, get your sofa in there, get your coffee table, your TV, your rug, and all of that. But more often we do see small or awkward secondary bedrooms. And in these spaces, we really like to get creative. So these rooms can be perfect office spaces. They can be playrooms. They can be mini sort of family lounge spaces. We love taking a small third bedroom, kind of like you see in the top picture there, and making it a flexible bedroom office space and kind of showing the versatility there. So even if it's just a full-size bed, or in this case, I think that was just a twin-size bed, or a day bed, and a small desk, at least you're showing the buyers the flexibility and the versatility of that room, and they'll see it as functional and not sort of a waste or too small or awkward. And besides that, creative home office setups are actually super crucial right now, as we all probably know and have experienced. And so we at Haven have been brainstorming lots of out-of-the-box ways to showcase workspaces. One of my favorites recently, we've had a few projects that have sort of like awkward under the staircase little nooks, and where those maybe would just be sort of empty space before. We've been playing around with propping a desk and a desk chair in that space and kind of showing it as a versatile and sort of functional little office nook. So don't feel discouraged if you have an awkward room or space in your home like that. Use it as an opportunity to show buyers added value of your home. And then finally, we'll talk about open concept spaces, kind of on the flip side to the small and awkward spaces. Large open concept spaces or like loft spaces can be equally difficult for buyers to visualize when they're vacant. Staging can help define zones, we'll kind of call them, of the room. So for example, a big empty living and dining area can look a little bit scary and undefined when it's empty, but anchoring the sofa and the rug straight away is a really purposeful way of defining how the rest of the room falls into place. So it kind of sets up the rest of the room. And once you define where that living zone is, then you can determine how much room you have for your dining and any other furniture items you want to place in there. So these open concept spaces they can be really fun and rewarding spaces to work with as well. If you are purposeful about where you place your zones, you may actually find that there's room for that little home office nook for a desk and a desk chair, or room for a cute little bar setup. But just defining those zones straight away really helps to kind of give some function and a purpose to a big open sort of blank canvas like that. So that kind of wraps up the top 5 spaces that we at Haven generally recommend you stage. So to summarize, we feel for sure that the top 3 rooms are living, dining, and then your primary bedroom, plus any awkward and small spaces, and then conversely, any super open concept type spaces. And, at Haven and just generally with staging, our top goal is to add as much value to your property as possible. So by highlighting the best parts of the space and finding solutions for some of these sort of less attractive or maybe awkward spaces, definitely does add that extra value, and that gives you the leg up that you need when you're putting your home on the market. So the buyer should walk in and see that everything flows well, feels open, and then they're not spending all their time puzzling out how a sofa would fit or how their dining table would fit. They're just admiring the space. So feel free to reach out to us at Haven if you have any more specific questions, or if you have any specific rooms you want to ask us about. We're always happy to give our advice on creatively solving some of these space issues. Thank you again for watching, and please tune in next week again, same time on Instagram Live. Thanks everyone, have a good afternoon.